Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sports Department Podcast, the wrestling recap version where we're not recapping something that happened during the week. Instead, we're predicting something, and this upcoming Tuesday and Wednesday, it is NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver, and myself, Stephen Clark, Justin Valentovic, and Jesse Norman are all here to give our honest predictions and going to try to overcome Jesse because he's the prediction king, and we're going to do our best. But before we get into all that fun stuff, fellas, how you doing tonight?
Good. You know, baseball's underway. Orioles 1-0, so that's good. Only 161 more to go for perfection. But I'm fun. I'm good. I'm fun, whatever that means.
Fun.
I'm doing good. I'm a fun guy.
No, you're not. Jesse,
No.
how you doing?
You know, doing good. I mean, wish we would have done the podcast
about 8 hours ago.
7.5 hours
You
ago.
know.
But, you know, what are you going to do?
Not the podcast.
Huh?
Not the podcast.
Yeah, no. No, I'm glad you guys are doing good for the most part. That's what matters. We're here to talk wrestling. You know why I'm here. I'm the one talking to the microphone for the most part. That means we're talking wrestling. Before we get into Stand and Deliver, we have some outside the ring news, of course. That's how we always start these wrestling podcasts. And a big bit of news broke today on the WWE Network Twitter that the new Broken Skull sessions that Stone Cold does on the network, he does them every couple months or so. Randy Orton was the last guest that they did. And they announced their next guest that's coming really soon. And it came to a shock to everybody because it is AEW's Chris Jericho. Wow, what a shock. And not even on April Fool's Day they did this. They could have easily tried to fool a couple people yesterday. It's April 2nd when we're recording this right now. But fellas, what do you think about them breaking the door, going through the unforbidden door and having Chris Jericho
the internet
appear?
basically? Yeah. You know, we've seen it where they've had, AJ Styles on where they mentioned TNA, but never at a point where they were an active person from the other company. Now, obviously, It's not in-ring stuff, so it's different, and it's more of like a podcast talk show thing. But the fact that then it's an AEW guy coming over to WWE is very interesting because you have to assume now maybe they're going to try to lure like the AEW nerds over who are like, hey, I mean, strictly better than WWE, which, you know, at times it can be. But the people who are like AEW is crap compared to W, or like who's AEW or nothing, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're maybe trying to lure them over a little bit. At first, I thought this is like old stock footage. I'm like, when did they record this? But it's
me
current.
too. Yeah.
I knew it had to be current because Jericho
is fat.
He looks how he looks now.
Fat.
I'll just say that.
Say that. Fat.
He's not doing an MVP impression like Harden, but you know. I think it's interesting because I want to know if they're gonna mention AEW by name.
They have to.
That's what I'm thinking. Or like, what if Austin's like, let's talk about the other company. You know, you started another company. How's that going?
But he
kind
mentioned,
of thing.
like when he said TNA, like he said total.
But TNA was no longer TNA.
It's Impact now, Impact. Exactly.
And also when Vince McMahon was on the Broken Skull session, I know CM Punk came up as a topic in name, not even saying like the guy you released back in early 2014 or whatever, gave him the release papers on his wedding day. No, they mentioned by a name CM Punk. So
it's kind of a perfect.
I was going to mention, I think Punk's going to be on this Broken Skull podcast in the next couple years.
That's a great draw for Peacock. A phenomenal draw.
I think within the next 2 years, Punk will be on.
This is kind of the perfect storm for Jericho to come over because one, it's Austin, and no one's going to say no to Austin, quite frankly. You know, he can kind of do whatever he wants because as a like personality, he's one of the better personalities also outside of wrestling as just a pure talk show host. Like he has his own show on USA Network. I'm sure, you know, the Wrestling Connection helped with that, but he's an entertaining guy. Also, Jericho, when he left WWE, he didn't leave on bad terms. He left on good terms. He just said, you know, my contract's up. I want to go do something different. He went over to New Japan, and then, you know, he kind of bridged the gap, but he didn't burn any bridges on the way out. But also, it's
the
airing.
Jericho Cruise.
It's airing.
Not a lot of people remember that.
After Sunday Night of Mania, which means if people from AEW were to want to watch this, they would have to get to get Peacock. And at that point, you would think, oh, well, I have Peacock. I may as well watch Mania while I'm watching it.
Genius. It's genius. It's straight up genius.
And they get, do they get a month free?
I think I got a little bit free. I owe like half price or something. I forgot what I paid for. But like I got a discount. I had some sort of discount I got for like at least the first month. But my last question with this is, does this open the door for like more stuff like this to happen? Like, will we eventually see maybe like MJF or something on the Broken Skull sessions or doesn't have the WWE name. Maybe a Moxley is more of a possibility.
I think they would have to be WWE guys through and through type of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I
Moxley, think if like Renee was still
I don't
with
think
WWE,
Moxley will happen.
It would have been more possible. I think it's just because Jericho is
Austin doesn't like Moxley.
True.
Yeah.
You're right.
But he doesn't. They don't like each other.
The only other one I could ever think way down the line would be Cody, but
that would be insane.
But he's tied so much more to AEW than Jericho is that AEW would essentially would have to fall apart for Cody to ever leave AEW. Kind of how like we didn't see Jeff Jarrett, do anything with WWE until Impact.
Until he literally was bought out.
Exactly.
He was done in Impact.
So Jericho kind of makes sense just because he's more freed to be able to do these types of things. But also it's Jericho. And, at its core, he is a WWE guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else in AEW that is a big WWE guy.
Maybe if Sting ever came back really for one.
It would be, I'd say, yes, Sting.
I feel like Sting is, I don't consider Sting, at this point, he's so much more WCW, TNA.
He's so much,
Sting is just a legend at that point. In general. He's so much above,
Maybe Goldust, if anyone. That's all I could possibly see. Because Goldust was around that era, Attitude Era.
But that's it. But also, is he interesting enough?
Not really. I can't stand the guy.
The stories might be.
He for some reason blocks me on Instagram and Twitter. I don't know why. Never tweeted at him once.
That's hilarious.
Never tweeted at him once. I can't stand the guy.
That is so funny.
Yeah. So screw you, Goldust.
His match with Cody is so overrated.
I agree.
Just a lot of blood. It's not actually good.
Yeah. No, I agree. But that's our opinions. But anyways, that's awesome. Can't wait to watch that after WrestleMania. But let's just get into a little bit of Hall of Fame news. We predicted on last week's podcast that the rumors were going around RVD going in the Hall of Fame. Fantastic. He deserves it, honestly. Like I said on the last, we don't have to beat the dead horse with this one, but as Justin is stripping down and there and he can't hear me, but this is funny because he can't hear me. All right. Well, I was talking about you stripping. I was doing some color commentary on you stripping down for us. RVD Hall of Fame, fantastic. We don't need to beat the dead horse with that. We talked about that last podcast. Congrats to him. And we have
It'll be a fun speech.
Oh, it'll be fun, all right. Hopefully, Riddle.
Who's inducting him? You think it's Heyman?
Hope it's Riddle.
I think it'd have to be Heyman.
No, I think it's Heyman.
It has to be Heyman.
Well, we know well, then at that point, Jesse could induct RVD too.
Yeah,
whatever that means.
Wrestle for the WWE.
Yeah, Jesse doesn't wrestle. What are you talking about, Justin? Anyways,
is it because I do a sweet frog splash?
Could be, or maybe because you're one of a kind, Jesse.
I mean, you're kind of like Doink with all the mini Doinks running around with the armor you got there.
I have no kids. I have no kids of my own. Literally none.
Inside jokes. That's funny. Anyways, the celebrity wing getting William Shatner. He did the little singing the Superstars theme songs back in the day, which was kind of funny. He was around for a little bit. It's cool.
They're kind of really running out of celebrity.
Whatever. Honestly,
it's okay. You don't need to put a celebrity in every time.
Next year, Bad Bunny will get put in.
Put Floyd Mayweather in. Honestly, that'd be cool.
Yeah. That makes the most sense.
Yeah. You gonna pay Floyd to show up?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're
gonna have. They're like Floyd's they're doing what? 20 mil right now. That's what I want to show up.
And no more of that fake stuff he's saying. Cool. I really don't care. William Shatner, that's awesome. Good for him. Whatever. He doesn't probably care either, but he'll be there on Thursday night doing a little speech. All right. Here's what we all came here for. Predictions time. Before we get into our actual predictions, though, I have to go back a pay-per-view ago just to remind everybody of who won and the score. So Jesse and Justin actually tied last pay-per-view. Yeah, tied.
Still in last. Doesn't matter.
Still in last. But you guys tied. The score is Jesse has 4. I have 2. Justin has 1. So going into TakeOver, we are doing 2 separate predictions for it. So night 1 is its own pay-per-view and night 2 is its own separate pay-per-view as well. So it could very well Jesse take a big lead and get to 6 pay-per-view wins, or he can honestly fall back to, and I could potentially tie it, or Justin could even take the second place and almost run into first place. So WrestleMania and Takeovers, it'd be 2 separate nights, 2 separate pay-per-views to try to help everybody out, but it could also backfire in Justin and I's face because Jesse is very, very good at predicting. So
odds are, screws me.
Oh, it's going to screw us. I already know it's going to screw us, but this is the only time we could do double pay-per-views because not going to happen any other pay-per-view during the year. So Takeover Night 1, Jesse is the champion, so he'll be going first, followed by me, then Justin. That's how the leaderboard goes. Actually, yeah, like that. So the first match of NXT Takeover Night 1 I have here is the NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai defending her title against Big Raquel Gonzalez. Jesse, who are you taking and why?
I think it's time. I think it's Raquel's time.
Okay.
I think Io, if Io wins, what else is there for her to do? She's beaten everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying she moves up to the main roster, but
just get fresh blood.
I don't know. I could totally see Io winning and them just cementing her even more as like the best woman on the planet. But they've already done that so many times. Numerous times. They did that with the Rhea and Charlotte match too already. So I feel like it's time. This is me picking a lot more with my heart than my head because I love Raquel and I think she's a star.
Me too.
And I think you have to put a belt on her. And
Also,
if you aren't going to give them the tag titles, you got to give her something.
Yeah. Also, Io's had the belt for a long time. Because she had it. When did she win it?
In Your House, I think, last year.
That's when she.
Coming up on a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we know NXT loves long, title reigns, but they do that mainly just because then the win is so much more elevated at that point. And it's clear that they want to strap a rocket to Raquel's back and, blast her to the Rhea Ripley, the higher echelon of, the tier of wrestlers for women. And it just makes sense.
Raquel?
Yeah, it just makes sense timing wise with it basically being, the WrestleMania takeover that this is the one they get.
So that's Raquel.
Yes.
Yes, two Raquels.
Wasn't too clear on that one.
Sorry.
That's why I asked. I was like, just making sure.
Yeah.
This is wrong.
I can totally see Io winning. I can absolutely see Io winning. But I really do think it's time.
Because here's the thing, though, too. They could put the belt on Raquel and have Dakota slowly get jealous, and then they break them up because they like breaking up tag teams.
Which is stupid.
Tag teams are only meant to do single competition at the end of it. That's literally all they do.
I think it's Raquel's time, but not yet. I don't think this feud did enough in building up Raquel. Like, it was only like a little 2-week feud ever since they had an encounter backstage. This is probably going to bite me in the butt, but what are you going to do? It happens. I'm taking a risk here. I'm taking Io to retain, but a couple reasons about Io retaining. Like I said, one, I just don't think they built up. I know they built Raquel up over the last couple of months, great, but in this feud, I feel like they didn't do a good enough job with that. Two, you can have Raquel get screwed and have a rematch down the line or something because they were showing vignettes on NXT for a dog running out the the Capitol Wrestling Center. So that's Taya Valkyrie coming. That's her dog. That it was leaked on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. That was her dog. So I don't know if they're going in the direction of Io and Taya Valkyrie, or Taya Valkyrie maybe costs Raquel and get a triple threat down the line. But
she helps Raquel win.
Or she helps Raquel win. You could
and kind of pulls a Bobby Lashley where I helped you, now give me my title shot.
Could be very much true.
I agree with you that I do think this feud is not over with this match.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they do. Even if Raquel wins, I think they definitely do a rematch.
Yeah, me.
Maybe not on a takeover. Maybe they do it on an NXT weekly taping.
Yeah,
but I do think this is not over.
Yeah, but for NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver, I will be going with Io Shirai. All right, so we already have our first difference. I like that. NXT UK Championship Match. I'll go first with this one because I'm in second place.
Oh, you get the easy one.
Do you want Justin to go? That's fine.
No, I don't want to. You go. No. You go first.
No. Walter defending his title against Tommaso Ciampa. Like Jesse said, I think it's a fairly easy one. I don't think the new bald-headed she'll not ever look at ugly looking Tommaso Ciampa. No offense, but you got to shave your head, bud. Is winning that title? I don't think so. I'm going with Walter, plain and simple.
God, I really want to just to.
You, bro.
No, I want to, but
do it. Go ahead.
Give me Ciampa. You get an American as the North American champion.
Okay.
Or not North American. UK.
Hold on. Without any peer pressure.
UK.
Without any peer pressure.
No, I was gonna take Ciampa.
United Kingdom's very own.
Okay. Just because it was kind of like the European title, how eventually it was just Americans holding it every single time. So. Yeah, no, you know why I could see it also because they can't get over the UK as easy as they want to, so they might want to keep it over here. Obviously,
got a point.
Why not run it through the Americans?
That's true.
That's actually a very solid point.
That's true. That's actually a good point. But
give me old Baldy.
I don't know. I think they're. They're lifting the restrictions pretty soon.
He's upset over his necklace. They ripped some necklace.
Oh yeah, got ripped.
Yeah,
I think it's from his daughter or something. So that sucks. Anyways, Jesse, your pick.
I think they could give the belt to a guy from regular NXT. I don't think it's Tommaso Ciampa. I definitely don't. You know who I would love to see win it? Cameron Grimes.
I was going to say Kushida.
And then I would love to see him try to do... No, I would love for him to do like a fake United Kingdom accent. Like act like he's from the United Kingdom. That would be great. But now, give me Walter. It's not... No. It's not true.
All right. So
you can't have Ciampa beat Walter.
I can't wait for this to be the first match of the night.
And Ciampa wins.
Or lose. Well, he'll get his ass kicked.
All right. Justin, you're up. This is the NXT Tag Team Championship triple threat match that was vacated because Danny Burch got injured. Just a regular triple threat for the titles. No ladders, no nothing. MSK versus Grizzled Young Vets versus Legado del Fantasma. Justin, who do you have and why?
It's simple. It's MSK. They came in and they put the Dusty Classic on them. It's clearly they're the hottest tag team in NXT that they want to go with. But, you could make a case for the Grizzled Young Vets because they came up short, 2 years running for the Dusty Cup. So maybe this is their finally getting their big win. But they're not as fun to watch compared to MSK because they're not as marketable and won't sell as much merchandise. So MSK with the belts would be fun to see because they're basically just two Matt Riddles running around. So give me MSK.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. You can make a case for every one of these teams here. Grizzled Young Vets, like you said, just said it perfectly. They got screwed 2 years in a row with the Dusty Cup. Legado has been on a hot streak for about 6 months now, ever since Santos Escobar became a thing. They've been really, really on top of the Cruiserweight division. It'd be cool to see all of them holding the belts. But I agree with you, Justin. MSK.
Cool. I agree with both of you.
Nice.
I think MSK is the hottest young tag team. I love watching them.
Me too.
I think they're fantastic. Carter Nash reminds me exactly of Jeff Hardy. When I was watching him when I was younger, he reminds me so much of Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, they're great for people with short attention spans, basically.
Yeah, no, they love doing flippy stuff. They really do. Flips.
Nice. So
yeah, I like Grizzled Young Vets a lot, but I do also think it's kind of becoming their gimmick that they can't win the big one.
So when they eventually get the big one, it's cool.
Sad. But it'll help, yeah.
But I don't think they'll ever get the big one.
Yeah.
For a while. They need to lose a few more big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now MSK around the board, kind of figured that would be like that. All right, now we got a little bit of a complicated one. We got the Gauntlet Eliminator for an opportunity at the NXT North American title on night 2. So the winner of this Gauntlet Eliminator match will face Gargano in night 2. So honestly, the night 2 prediction is going to be a lot harder than this one.
Is the field announced?
Yeah, it's in the docket. You have it up.
I do now.
All right, so the competitors are Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Leon Ruff versus.
Why'd you put in the baseball rundown?
I didn't. You posted that in here.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, I copied and pasted that into my clipboard 3 days ago.
You just copy paste it and popped up here
by accident. Yes, so that's why I was confused. I was like, why the hell did he make it Okay.
No,
I thought you literally typed in, renamed the document, and then typed in there. I was like, that's a new one for you.
No. Anyways, let's start from the beginning. The competitors in this Gauntlet Eliminator match are Isaiah Swerve Scott, Leon Ruff, Bronson Reed, Cameron Grimes, Dexter Lumis, and L.A. Knight. Back to Jesse. Oh wow, Jesse has the tough one.
Whoa! Justin just said it's easy, so I want Justin to go first.
Because I read the first 3 names, and then I read the last 5, and it's like, never mind.
Justin goes, "Oh, this is easy. This is this is an easy one."
I think for the most part it's easy too, but Jesse, you can go first and pick who you want, and
we'll
get to night 2 when we get to night 2.
The other 3 are
night 2 when we get to night 2.
I think this could go multiple different ways.
So
I don't think Swerve Scott, and I don't think Bronson Reed. I also don't think Grimes.
Really?
I think Ruff, maybe, because I think Johnny could cheat and have him win, so that way he has an easy. That way he has an easy match.
I'd like
so I could see that. But then also Dexter Lumis has been really good lately. Also this is LA Knight's first
takeover debut.
Thing,
it's a little tough.
They kind of really like him.
I know you crossed out Cameron Grimes, but he's on the run of his life with this gimmick right now too. This is hilarious.
No. I absolutely love Cameron Grimes, but I don't think he wins a gauntlet.
Regardless,
just because I think he can't beat multiple people.
Well, here's the thing: he could win
his gimmick
if Lumis wasn't in the match, because we're gonna get a Grimes and Lumis interaction, which Grimes at that point might just eliminate himself.
He might just leave. He'll pay Lumis to pin him or something or whatever. Or what if he pays Lumis so he can pin Lumis?
Lumis
wouldn't take it. Lumis wouldn't take it.
I could see him maybe do that with Leon Ruff.
Ruff, that would be good.
Contract probably.
That's what I just thought.
Jesse, who you taking?
Give me Lumis. Give me Dexter Lumis.
Right. Justin, who you taking?
Between him and Knight.
Yeah, it's either Lumis or Knight, just because they have people sometimes win on their takeover debut if they really want to get behind them.
Yeah.
But also they gave him a stupid ass name. So I don't really think they want to get behind him too much, because I don't know what was wrong with Eli Drake. Because even if he were to win, I don't see
he might not own that name.
Yeah, he probably doesn't own it.
Well, okay, look, get a better one.
Name him Eli Blake.
Eli Blake. Eli Knight. That's
cool. Anything better than LA.
So much better.
LA is just stupid. I think it's got to be Lumis, because I would love to see Gargano and company have to deal with Lumis. But here's the thing: didn't they run a thing a while back where Indy Hartwell kind of was having a thing for Lumis?
She still is.
So there you go. That's kind of the natural progression that might screw Gargano or get in his way somehow, and Lumis could walk away with the belt. But that's another thing. But for this match, I'm going with Dexter Lumis.
I agree with both of you. I think Lumis is the easy choice here. He's, besides Bronson Reed and Leon, which didn't have much to do with Gargano in general, they are the only faces in this match, and I feel like you got to have a face versus the bastardly heel that Gargano is. Bronson's kind of in this feud with LA Knight. Swerve Scott and Dexter are kind of together, and Grimes is kind of involved in the North American, but I don't think they're running Grimes and Gargano. I'm also going Lumis. So Lumis around the table again. But we'll get to the whole match with Lumis and Gargano in a little bit once we get to night 2. But last one of night 1, it's Kushida versus Pete Dunne in just a grudge match, I guess, or something. I don't know. It's up to me to pick. No reasoning whatsoever. I'm just gonna go Pete Dunne. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, Pete Dunne.
I agree. I think it's Pete Dunne.
Okay. Yeah, there's not much reasoning behind this.
I could see Kushida winning this just if they did actually want to build him up.
Yeah, but it seems like they want to get more behind.
Haven't we played that game with Kushida?
Yeah, I feel like they want to get behind more on Pete Dunne for a future NXT title run. So this is just a good notch on his belt.
I love that.
I like that too.
But also,
right now, Logan Paul's on SmackDown, by the way.
That's right. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
God, that's hilarious.
He's going to be at WWE. So, Eli Drake, right? Born Sean Ricker.
He's had bad names his whole life.
So he says is best known for his time with Impact Wrestling under the ring name Eli Drake, which means TNA Impact or whatever you want to call it owns Eli Drake. You're telling me they couldn't buy the rights from them?
Drake.
But his other names were Deuce,
they probably
Dick
didn't
Rick,
care enough.
Dick Rick Lakins, Sean Ricker.
Was he Deuce from Deuce and Domino?
Yes.
What?
No way.
No.
No, wait, no, he wasn't. Maybe. Was he WWE?
Okay. Yes, he looks like him. Hold up.
NWA, WWE, yeah. Ricker made his WWE appearance in 2016. Team with John Moxley had to take on Big Show. Blah blah blah. No one cares. Gene Crime time.
Wait, so was he Deuce from Deuce and Domino or no?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I watched a video the other night on YouTube.
Wasn't one of them? Which one killed Undertaker almost? Wasn't it one of them?
I think it was Deuce. Because Paul London and Brian Kendrick, I was watching an interview they had the other night on YouTube, and they hate Deuce. Like both of them. They say he's like one of the worst wrestlers they have ever
No, it's not.
Ever.
No, they're different names.
Deuce is Jimmy Snuka's kid.
That's right. And Domino is Cliff Compton.
Well, that's why. He's a murderer.
Runs in the family.
Murderer.
Family, yeah.
Okay.
All right, night one. Good thing we got that.
He's from Maryland. Guess he's an Orioles fan. Want to know, baby?
Probably not.
0-0, baby.
Oh boy. Hopefully the Mets get to play soon.
COVID, baby.
No, it sucks. All right, so let's get right into night two. So I just did that one, Kushida versus Pete Dunn. So we're on to Justin for the start of night two. And we have Finn Balor, who is the champion, defending his title against Karrion Kross. Justin, who are you taking and why?
I think it's going to be Karrion Kross.
Okay.
Just because I could see him absolutely destroy Finn. And then the rematch, the demon comes out. So for this one, give me Karrion Kross.
Jesse?
I think I'm going to go Karrion Kross as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's multiple ways this could go. Like, you could do Karrion Kross wins and then they do Demon. Karrion Kross wins and then they pull Finn back up. Is another option.
Or opposite. Finn Balor wins and Karrion goes right up too.
Finn Balor and Karrion just goes right up. Yeah. Give me Karrion. Yeah. I agree.
I'm going Kross too.
Because he's getting the belt he never lost, and if he didn't get hurt, he'd probably still have the belt now.
Yeah, no.
He'd for sure have the belt right now.
I agree. Literally, exactly. Best said right there. He's gonna get back the belt he never lost. I'm going with Kross as well.
Finn got back the belt.
I would feel differently about this if McMahon was booking it. But because Triple H is booking it. Because McMahon, once you get hurt with the belt, he never trusts you to hold a belt again.
Correct.
For a really long time.
Yep.
So I think Triple H has faith that he can stay healthy.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right. And back around to Jesse for this one. We have an unsanctioned match between former members of the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. Baby. Jesse, tell me who you're picking. Another tough one. This night is kind of tough.
Night two so much better.
I don't know if this feud ends with this match.
I'm missing a match too.
Oh
no, it's on the next page. Never mind.
Give me O'Reilly. Just give me O'Reilly.
I agree.
Double think it.
I think it's just too much of a feel good story to not have O'Reilly win. There'll be plenty of times. Cole's one.
Cole could get his match. He could get his win back at the next one or something.
This could also be his last match in NXT, and then he goes up to WWE.
That's also true.
And then this sets up O'Reilly to be one hell of a competitor in NXT. So that's why I'm going with Kyle O'Reilly also.
O'Reilly. All right. So far, we're all the same for night two. Will it change for the North American title match? We have Johnny Gargano versus the winner of night one, Gauntlet Eliminator. I go first. You have to pick the winner of the Gauntlet Eliminator. So if Loomis isn't even in the match and we pick Loomis, we're already beat. We're beat. So
we already lost.
Johnny Gargano versus on all of our predictions. I'm pretty sure we all went with Dexter Loomis,
yes.
So so Johnny versus Loomis for us. I'm gonna take Dexter Loomis. I just think why not?
I'm going with him too.
Wow.
I think the Indy Hartwell story, as Justin brought up, I think plays into it.
Me too.
Plus Loomis is kind of overdue for a singles belt. To have.
Yeah, he's very
and plus he could be the first one in NXT, maybe to kind of do like a funky custom belt.
That'd be cool, like the whole
that'd be
even though I love the North American belt and I think it's one of the best in WWE. It would be cool just kind of see like maybe just like a tie-dye belt strap, but like the same
plate or like his eyes on the title around it or something like cool. That.
But
give him the Jeff Hardy Immortal belt.
Oh my God, that would be cool. It's kind of trippy like that.
But yeah, he definitely walks away with it, I think. Because then maybe honestly, Indy gets in the way and then they kick her out of the way.
Gets in the way.
Yeah, and then she's kind of with Loomis then, and then we could see Gargano and Candice LeRae versus Loomis and
very possible
at some point.
Very
and then they can bring in mixed tag belts
and have more title belts. Yeah, Just what we need.
I think mixed tag belts are fire, and nobody ever does them.
I enjoyed the mixed match challenge. That's
what the mixed match challenge should have led up.
Yeah. That was fun.
Well, that's never coming back.
Well, I think honestly, the main roster should get rid of the women's titles or the women's tag titles, and then just add mixed tag.
That sounds fun.
There'd be so much better if they could do a male and a female as opposed to two females. Because they just start throwing the females together, and then it doesn't work, and they never give them a story. They just like, oh, they're friends. That's the story. They're friends.
They're friends, exactly. Loomis around the table again. So far, night 2 does not mean anything for anybody because we might match up the whole way down.
Cool.
Anyways, speaking of the new NXT Women's Tag Team titles, they're going to be defended at Takeover when Shotzi and Ember Moon defend their titles against what we just talked about right now, The Way. And I predicted that one. So Justin, we're up to you for this.
So I'm just going to go with Shotzi and Ember off the bat because I feel like this could open the show. And then the North American would be before the NXT Championship match, right? The Way could lose. And then maybe that's where kind of Candice starts getting annoyed with Indy. And then
Indy
Loomis
takes the pin,
And then Loomis, that whole thing happens, and that just pushes her over the edge. So I think either way, she's kind of kicked out of the way one way or another. So not break them up, just kick her out.
Oh, so, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be Shotzi and Ember, though, at the end of it.
I agree.
Give me Shotzi and Ember. They just got the belts. They're not going to lose. They're not going to take them off them right away.
So far, the good part about this is that we're all going to get a point for the pay-per-view win because it looks like we're all the way down. So
fine with me. Fine with me.
Yeah, fine with you. You're going up.
I'm still in last.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going with Shotzi number 2. They just did the little quick title change. When they did the title, so I don't think they're doing another quick title change just like that. So Shotzi and Ember for everybody, and let's get to the final match that Jesse's going to be predicting, which is
another one
really exciting match.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I went to the next page. Ladder match for the undisputed, because there are technically 2 NXT Cruiserweight Championship ladder match, which is fun. Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin. Norms, who you taking?
Give me Escobar. Yeah, I think he's just better.
Too.
I really do. I just think he's better. I think he's the better cruiserweight champion. I like him.
For the sake of trying to win the night, give me Jordan Devlin.
I love honestly, that might pay off in the long run. It really might.
Or it's gonna burn you more.
Yeah, so we might not all get a point actually. So you're welcome. Yeah, but give me him.
Justin's so greedy; he just wants to point to himself. That's all it is.
I'd rather Justin get the point than Clark. Yeah, I'll take it.
You got a point. Yeah, honestly, I just think Escobar is better, but there is a chance that Devlin wins. There really is, because the UK guys are now over in this.
Well, that's the thing. He's been away for a long, long time, so maybe they just want to give him some momentum and me a win.
It's possible. I'm not saying it's not. It's definitely possible, but I'm also gonna go Escobar. So just like old times, Norms and I are the same cards, and Justin almost joined the trifecta there, but instead went with Jordan Devlin in the end. Looking forward to a great takeover. I think this is going to be very, very good. Both nights are going to be a lot of fun.
Which one's on Peacock and which one's on TV? Because we didn't talk about NXT moving. We didn't talk about
Tuesday
NXT.
night is on USA and Wednesday night's on Peacock.
Yeah, you forgot about that in the old outside the ring. NXT's moving after Mania to Tuesday.
I think we did that last week.
But it wasn't official.
Wait, are both going to be available on Peacock or
no? NXT the first night
One's
is
available on
USA Network on Tuesday, and then night 2 is on Peacock. So yeah, I think we did that last week, Justin.
Oh well,
but I might be wrong too. So
I might be just an idiot.
Big possibility. Anyways, no, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Sports Department Podcast. Us 3 appreciate it. Joe and Steve appreciate it as well. Make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast from. Follow our social medias on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Sports Depth Pod. That's Sports DEPT Pod. I'm looking into doing another type of social media form that's been really popping lately. Clubhouse. It's called Clubhouse. It's basically like people listening to other people like talk, and you get to join with other like top creators and stuff. So I'm looking at a way we can kind of incorporate into that, because my title is social media manager in our little description there. So I am looking for new things to evolve into. We'll see what happens with that. I just made an account for myself today.
Cool.
So we'll see if we can evolve our podcast into that, or maybe get more listeners or connect with other content creators who do sports podcasts. So that could be fun. But we're going to take a little bit of break, I think, from normal sports for the week because there's a lot of
straight up mania.
Straight up mania, a lot of WrestleMania stuff. So we have the Takeover Reaction podcast, WrestleMania predictions, and also WrestleMania reactions coming up. So stay tuned to all that fun stuff, and we'll see you in the next episode.